So what's up YouTube, it's your boy the Atheist Juggalo, and I am back with episode 2 of Cooking with the Atheist Juggalo. Today we're going to have carnitas, which is the little miniature Mexican tacos, which is really good. So for the meat that I usually use, which is the London broil that I buy at Safeway, usually it's anywhere between $1.99 and $2.29 price ranges, but it's real tender and it's really good to use for this. So anyways, we have several different things here we're going to use out through the video. I'll show you what I'm going to do with them as I go along. So first of all, you take the meat, and this is how I do it, and you can do this however you feel you want to do it at home. So what you're going to do is cut the meat in strips as such. Alright. Similar to this or however you want to do it. I like to cut them in smaller pieces because it's easier to cut up when you're cutting them into cubing it. So as we cut it into strips, we'll go ahead and do this real quick. And then, momentarily, there we go. I like to cut them as thin as possible. Usually the smaller the better. So, I like to line everything up. I'm very odd about that. That's just me in general. So, like I said, cube it as such. And we will be right back when I get all of this cut up. So welcome back to Cooking with the Atheist Juggalo. So anyways, now that I have the meat cut up, I'm warming the pan right now. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and stick the meat in the pan and let it cook, or start to simmer and cook. I usually put a little butter in the bottom of the pan. That's just me. Don't like grab the pan like I'm doing because it is very hot at this point. Alright, while that's cooking, we're going to get started on some other things real quick. So usually what I put in it is 3 different seasonings, lemon juice, and the taco skillet sauce, which is really good. In my opinion, I personally believe it's one of the best I've ever tasted. Unless you're authentic Mexican and you know how to cook the food properly, I suggest you go with something similar to this. Ranges anywhere between $1.99 and $2.69 a bag at Safeway, which is a little pricey, but a little bit goes a long way with this. So we've got black pepper, seasoned salt, and lemon pepper. So basically, I don't measure anything out. All I do is go by what I know, and my wife's going to start catching things as I throw it to her. No, I'm not throwing it at her, I'm throwing it to her, which is always nice to have an assistant behind the camera. And for a little extra flavor, I like to put lemon juice in it. If I can get it open, there we go. And like I said, I don't measure anything out. I prejudge everything by what I know. So I'm going to put this in a little bit. But while that's cooking, let me go ahead and flip it real quick and get it cooking on both sides. We'll go ahead and put the lid on this. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and cut up the lettuce, and I like to use green leaf lettuce due to the fact it's my favorite. I'm not much on iceberg lettuce. So anywho, alright. So I like to cut this up real fine. After eating off of taco trucks when I was in construction painting, that's probably one of the reasons why I eat green leaf, because that's what they put on the tacos. There. We'll get that cut up real quick, and we will be right back. So now that we got the lettuce all cut up, the meat is now done, which I'm going to unplug. Actually, no, take that back. I'm not going to unplug it. I'm just going to turn it off, which is nice to have an electric skillet. So anyways, I didn't have to drain the juice, because apparently I steamed all the juice out, which is really nice, because it's one less thing I have to do. So since we have all the seasonings in there, I'm now going to put the taco seasoning in. And don't put a whole hell of a lot unless you really want to. But like I said, it brings out the flavor in it. Alright. Go with that. And now I'm going to turn this back on about 275. And I'm going to stir it up real quick. Let's get that going. And another thing I like to add in it is my Tapatio hot sauce, which is also very good. Once again, I'm glad I have an assistant, otherwise I would have been screwed because I didn't have it over here. So if you like spicy food, this is something to put in it. It tastes really good. And then of course, season it to taste. You can put any kind of hot sauce, I just like this one in general. So, I'll put a little bit more of this in here. And there we go. Alright, so mix that in real quick and then I'll put the lid back on. I like to kind of not burn the meat, but I like to let it sit in here so that way the seasoning cooks into the meat and gives it that extra flavor. So while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and cut up a tomato real quick. Didn't really need all these, but I just brought them out. Anyways, so get started and cut this up real quick. Once again, I don't think I need to tell you how to cut up a tomato, but if I do, this is how you would do it, or how I would do it. I cut it into strips, like so, and then just chop it up like this. So we'll be right back after I get all the tomatoes cut up. So since the meat's not quite yet done, I'm going to squirt a little bit more lemon juice in here real quick. Meat usually takes anywhere between, I would say, from the time you start cooking and add all the seasoning, you're looking right around 15 minutes maybe. And I like these Guerrero corn tortillas. I like corn tortillas because they're less in fat, all the flour and stuff they put in it. So we'll be back after this brief message from ICP. Now that the meat's done, ooh, yes it is done. And I'm telling you what, right now the aroma from this is fucking ridiculously awesome. Sorry about my poopy mouth in this video, but I love my cooking. I'm a fat kid, as you can tell. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and I will be right back.